That's right. You read that thumbnail. Let's get to it. Let's roll that intro. Tommy reads X-Men. Tommy reads X-Men. It's cool. What's going on? It's your boy back at you again with another Tommy Reads X-Men. Today, we are looking at X-Men number 57, written in June 1969 by Roy Thomas, with art by Warner Roth, and actually, the great Neil Adams does the cover. This one is called The Sentinels Live! Kick off the issue with Lorna Dane. Remember her? Polaris, but they don't call her that. She's there setting up her apartment in New York, trying to work on her powers, which they haven't really 100% defined what it is. And all of a sudden, boom! The Sentinels attack her, and she's like, what's this? And then we cut to Egypt, or at least I'm calling it Egypt. There's pyramids and stuff. They don't really say it's Egypt or whatever, but the X-Men are there. They've finished the battle, and Alex Summers, Scott's little brother, Havoc, but we don't call him that yet, and he's still freaked out about his powers. Now, for 3 issues now, he's been like, oh, don't get away from me, I'm unstable. And they're like, bro, relax, chill. He ain't chilling. I'm telling him to chill. What else are you gonna do? They're telling him to chill out, and he's freaking out. The authorities show up, and they're like, well, this guy who's wearing his boxer shorts, basically, is acting real weird, and his powers manifest like because he's stressed out or whatever, and then the cops are freaking out. Now forget that the X-Men are all in uniform and the officers just don't even notice them. Like, this guy's got wings sprouting out of his back, for God's sake, but this dude in his boxers here is the problem. The X-Men are fighting the cops, and Alex in the melee decides to get away, and he runs off in his bare ass feet on the sand, but whatever, he gets away. And that's when it happens. Like, Scott freaks out, and the writers have him use a racial slur against these local people. And I'm not going to repeat it, and it was offensive to read. I know you could say, like, Tommy, it was a different time or whatever. And granted, yeah, and a small part of me is like, well, at least they didn't cover it up and, like, try to rewrite history, which is horrible. But it was in there. I didn't like it. It's totally out of character for Scott, and we're going to move on. The X-Men are looking for Alex, but the Sentinels find him first, and he's like, oh! In looking for Alex, the X-Men are having trouble, so they decide to contact Lorna, who's going to somehow patch Cerebro to them. Somehow. Don't reasons, they don't even explain it, like, you know, how they're going to do that, you know. It's not like they text it to her, or like airdrop or whatever. When they contact Lorna, they find her apartment is trashed and she is missing. What's weird that nobody talked about was why they had a camera in Lorna's new apartment that they could find all this, because they were looking at it on the screen, literally. Now, Iceman, who apparently is still dating Lorna at this point, is freaking out like, where is she? Where is she? Oh! And they're like, dude, just relax. Why is everyone so aggro today? Like, what's going on? Now, their grand plan is to split up. So, I mean, apparently the X-Men have never seen an action, adventure, scary movie, any kind of movie where the team splits up. That always works out so great for them. But Hank and Bobby, the best friends, decide to go to New York to go look for Lorna. And Angel, Jean, and Scott, our romantic triangle from way back in the day, decide to keep looking for Scott's brother, Alex. So they stay in Egypt. In New York, Hank and Bobby are searching Lorna's apartment, and the cops show up. And the cops see all this mess, and they apparently they knew it was a missing girl for some reason, even though, like, who would have called that in? Maybe the big hole in the roof from the Sentinels was a tip-off. I don't know. They didn't really say, but the cops were like, oh, X-Men, you guys are under arrest because you're suspects. Now, mind you, from a few issues back when we started this whole Alex Summers hullabaloo, they accused Scott of murdering the living pharaoh, and he was under the, he was on the run and stuff like that. So there's still probably an APB on him because they've been in Egypt for the past 3 issues. No, ain't nobody cleared him, you know what I'm saying? So the X-Men are suspects in this thing. So the X-Men, to prove their innocence, decide to beat the hell out of these officers. Round 2, this is the second time they've, beat up some authorities. Thankfully, there's no racial slurs in this one, but they do get away, and they decide, hey, Scotty Too Hotty's got an apartment here, somewhere here in New York, so let's go check it out. They turn on the TV. they see a guy by the name of Larry Trask. Now, he's the son of Bolivar Trask. Now, if you remember your X-Men, and I hope you do, he created the Sentinels, Bolivar Trask, in X-Men like 14, 15, which I will leave a description of for the way back in the day. Tommy Reads X-Men there. You can see how much this channel and this show has grown. Now, what Larry's talking about, we flash back to actually those issues of X-Men where the Sentinels were born and they turned on Trask and they actually killed him in a rubble, killed him. I don't know if he's officially dead because his comics, you know what I'm saying? Killed him, and he is blaming mutants, particularly the X-Men. And the X-Men are responsible for the, death of my father, and that's why I've brought back the Sentinels. And they show the Sentinels, even though we had already seen them a few times in this issue. And the X-Men are like, oh, snap! This is going to be bad for us. End of main story. Let's get to that backup story. And it's going to be a doozy, y'all. The backup story is all about Jean Grey. And it's called Female of the Species. And it's actually written by the first female writer to take on an X-Men story, as far as I know. Her name was Linda Fight, or Fit. And, they could have been like, check us out. Check this out. We got a new female writer, and she's going to tell Jean Grey's story. That's all they had to do, right? That's all they had to do. A great introduction. That is not what they do. Let's take a look. You have here Jean's backup story, written by Linda Fight, or Fit. And it's introduced, it's called Female of the Species, so there's that. But a ye old bullpen thought it'd be glitzy if, for a change, this featurette of Mesmerizing Marvel Girl were written by a member of the supposedly weaker sex. That's, alright, a weird intro. But it's been a weird issue. I mean, am I right? I mean, at least they said, supposedly weaker sex, but I mean, that intro was awful, dude. They could have been a fantastic new writer for our Merry Mutants, blah, blah, blah. That was off the top of my head. It took 2 seconds, but no, they were like, here's a lady writing a lady. And then the backup story, it was Jean talking to the audience about her powers. We've seen this before with the other X-Men. But in addition to showing how she can use her telekinesis to knock people around and knock guns out of people's hands and use her psychic powers, they also have to mention that she can use her powers to help cook and clean. We didn't see, they show her literally using her telekinesis to slice up a watermelon with a knife and then use a vacuum. And then at the end she's like, and I still find time to be attractive to men. Come on, man. We didn't have that with Angel. We didn't have that with Cyclops or whatever, Beast. You know what I'm saying? They could have handled that way, way better. Dang. End of backup story. Let's get to those final thoughts. All right, y'all. Some final thoughts on this issue. You read the thumbnail, so you know what's up. I got to give this issue a 1 out of 10. This was a horrible issue. And there was a racial slur in it. It was very sexist. And, again, you're going to be like, oh, Tommy, it's a different time. And that's how you talk. But still, it doesn't age well. I'm sure even reading it then, some people were like, what the heck? You know what I mean? A lot of people should have been like that. Probably more than there was. But anyway. And taking away all that, moving away from all that awfulness, it was a boring issue. It was a boring issue. Not a lot happened. I feel like Roy Thomas writes this a lot, at least with the X-Men, where it's set up for a bunch of issues, and then we get one issue that's paid off, and it's pretty good. But until then, we got to read a lot of filler, man. If I'm in 1968, 69, I didn't get my 12 cents worth on this issue. 1 out of 10. We can only go up from here. I hope. If you like this content or are mildly entertained, please like and subscribe down here. Hit that bell notification in the corner, let you know when I'm updating. And do your boy a solid. Help spread the word about Tommy Love Stuff channel, YouTube's best kept secret. Got a lot of great stuff on this channel. Please check out our playlists. We'll be back with another Tommy Reads X-Men soon. Until then, thank you for letting me entertain you. Later. How's it going, kids? This is Tommy from the Tommy Love Stuff channel. We like to have a lot of fun around here, but we need to talk about something serious, and that is watermelon cutting safety. Now, I know Jean Grey has her X-Men powers, and she can slice up a watermelon like nobody's business. But be sure you're using proper knife safety. I can't even finish.